Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is by request. It is a special request going out to one of my very first subscribers. And his request is a song that I had reacted to a number of times. But you know, there are just some songs that people can't let go of, and this song is one of them. Song is War Pigs by Black Sabbath. And as you guys know, I've already reacted to this song, and recently I did Black Sabbath live in Paris, and this song was a part of their lineup. So I've definitely got a good dose of War Pigs in the last little while that I've been doing reactions. But this is a special request, as I said, and it is being made by this gentleman, one of my very first subscribers, Harry Rogers. Always a good time and always a pleasure to check out your recommendations, Harry. Harry is a guy who I want to say he likes to challenge people. He is very cerebral in what he wants to pull out of you. And my experience with this guy has been very all over the place. He's the guy who's responsible for The Curse of Led Zeppelin. He's the guy who's responsible for the Stones versus Zeppelin, and a number of things that just makes me, forces me to talk and express myself and to give a lot of context and commentary. So that ultimately is what he's after. So he will send me these things to test me. He's the tester. That's what I'm going to call Harry from now on. Anyway, Harry's got a note for me, and this is the setup for this song. He says, Wayne, on the heels of your live in Paris reaction last week, I still have Sabbath fever. I know that War Pigs is your favorite anti-war and Black Sabbath song. I remember your very first reaction. This song was your second reaction. My very first reaction when I started my channel was Fortunate Son, and then War Pigs followed. Initially, I was really focused on anti-war, and I basically had blinders on for a while, and I didn't see anything else. That's what he's talking about here. I've always wanted to see you react to a very popular fan-made video of War Pigs rather than the one with the old war footages. Right. My first reaction of War Pigs, there was a lot of very disturbing wartime footage at the time. And, you know, being an old vet and everything, you know, of course it got to me. And I started reacting to the images a little bit more of what I was watching rather than the song itself in some places. And that annoyed a lot of people. So I pulled that video because I didn't want to have every second person in a comment saying, don't focus on the video, focus on the song. So I got tired of that, so I pulled it. But I think what I will do, now that you understand that I'm a little bit more advanced, right, I'll repost that original video so you can compare. Don't kick my ass about reacting to the images, though. I know anti-war stuff gets to you, and with the 11th coming up, it might be a bit much. But if you can, as one of your very first, can you please indulge me? Oh, that's another thing. He claims that he is my actual first. He's saying here one of my very first, but there's a couple of people who claim that they're my very first subscriber. I can actually go way back in time, check my Gmail posts, or I can actually go into analytics on my YouTube channel and find out who the actual very first subscriber was, but it doesn't matter. As well, talk about how you got started, and talk about the Maggie thing. Your reactions are the best, man. I'm not as old as George Walker yet, but I've been through it all, and still here to talk about it. Thanks in advance, Harry. Okay, Harry. Okay, I know that this is just a short little paragraph, greeting paragraph, but what you're asking for me to do is to talk about a lot of things, a lot of very, very personal, sensitive things, being a vet, and also very, very personal, heartstring pulling things too. When you're talking about the Maggie thing, I'll fill you guys in about that for sure, because this song and the Maggie experience and the Maggie factor, as I'm going to call it, are now intertwined in the memories of, in my memories. So I'll talk about that too. And yes, as the 11th is approaching, that becomes a very sentimental and emotional moment. And so wrapped up with this song, there's just a lot going on. I'll do my best, but I don't want to talk for hours about this. So I'll try and stick to a structured format and do that. So your goal is to see what I think about this video. It must be quite a video if you want me to do a reaction to it, considering I've already reacted to War Pigs. All right. You are one of my first and one of my faves. Despite the fact that you like to challenge me so much, I will indulge you, my friend. Thanks again for the recommendation. So let's hit this up, see what this fan-made video of War Pigs is all about. Let's get it. Cheers, baby. Germany. Don't tell me that's a little girl who Am I gonna make it through this?
Gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses, evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction, in the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah.
Where's this little girl going on by herself? Gonna find her dad. belt, really. Just stay the course. Just thinking about his daughter. Are those Lancasters? I don't know my bombers for 829s. He's got nothing left. He's just hanging on. Oh, look at that.
Now in darkness, world stops
What an
turning. Ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power. And as God has struck the hour, day of judgment, God is calling. On the knees, the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sins. Satan
Just by
laughing
one
spreads
act of
his
rebellion, that's what he
wings.
gets.
Oh Lord, yeah.
That's sad right there, her face. So she lost her dad, and now she's gonna lose her mom. You're not gonna shoot my dad. She's hanging on to the hope of freedom. Okay, Harry. I see why you wanted me to react to this video. It's a good video, man. Very, very visual. Very symbolic of the suffering of so many people back in the day. So many people who were occupied and had to face evil to the point that it was just on another level altogether of evil. Really, really terrible times. And this video with the song mixed together, you can't deny the impact and the impression it would have, especially on, let's say, somebody younger who's watching it for the first time and they're discovering Black Sabbath for the first time. This is a really good introduction. They'll say, holy cow, man. Is it really, it's very, very accurate pairing the video and the song. I get it. I get the visual. I get the understanding of the delivery of the song, what these guys were trying to convey. You know, it's almost a prophetic statement that they're making here. Even a very, very young person watching this video would be able to kind of conclude all of that. So yeah, hey, thumbs up for the impact of the video. A really, really good example of pairing a good video with a song and how appropriate it is. My question, I wonder, with this video being so popular, as you say, Harry, has any of the members of Black Sabbath seen it? Have they been interviewed about it? What's your take? Was it accurate? Does it kind of represent some of what you were trying to convey back in the day? I wonder, you know, I don't want to speak for them, but it seems to me that it really is very, very accurate. And it's just one example of all of the different types of stories that you can tell through a song like this. I bet you that there are hundreds of awful, awful stories like this to be told. And this little girl's story is just one of those many, you know, but it really very, very graphically captures it very well. And the song, man, the power of this song, I tell you, is the magnitude of this song is so far reaching. Let's do this because I feel that I can talk a long time about it, and I'm determined not to. But I will say this about the video, Harry. Yeah, the video is really, really excellent, fan-made or otherwise, and it really captures a moment. And it's really well paired with the song, and it gives a lot of context to, like I said, somebody new, somebody young, experiencing and discovering Black Sabbath for the first time, what they're all about. A really, really good video. In fact, you wanted me to talk about the Maggie thing, as you say. The Maggie thing. Let's just use Maggie as an example of a lot of people who are not familiar with Black Sabbath or aware of Black Sabbath and what they're all about. They only have a passing impression. Oh, those guys are metalheads and they might be devil worshippers, you know, some stupid ignorance like that. This is a really, really good video with the song to introduce them to Black Sabbath. And then, of course, there's more about Sabbath. You know, there's a really cool side to them. There's a fun side to them. Their stage persona when they're performing. And you realize that these are just really, really cool guys. And like a lot of people back in the day, they had a gimmick, a promotional gimmick, and that was all it was. But behind it all, their music is very, very strong. Their music, especially back in the Aussie years, had power behind it in the form of a warning, telling you about dire consequences, a call to action if you don't change. This is how I see the world, and this is where it's going to end up if we don't do something about it now. So it had a very prophetic chain with it, the early Aussie years, right? So all of that is something that I would use to introduce somebody new or somebody ignorant about Black Sabbath to the video and the song. I wish I had this video. Where it comes to the Maggie factor, let me tell you what that means. 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now, I went to hook up with an old military buddy, Daryl. And went to his house. His mom, Maggie, is an old 75-year-old, well, she's 77 and a half now, Orthodox Christian woman, very judgmental. She's the matriarch, everything she says goes. She runs the household. She rules the family with an iron fist, and she uses the platform of Christianity as a shaming mechanism in order to convict people and to knock them down. So that is her superpower. We've all got the ability, and that is how she's decided to use her gift in life. And as a result, she has very, very docile men in her life, both her husband Tom and her son Daryl. Daryl is an old shipmate, and he is one of the best sailors I've ever known. He is very, very strong in a combat role. But you take him out of that, you put him in front of a woman, and he's as docile as a lamb in the field, especially in the presence of his mom. A single word can't come out of his mouth. He just freezes and he locks. This is the power this woman has. Anyway, I go over there, and she confronts me about my channel. She confronts me about, oh, I thought you were a smarter man. How could you be doing reactions to those demonic people singing about war pigs and God is going to judge you harshly one day, Wayne. I thought you were smarter than that. Oh my God, man. So I got back into her face and I said, Maggie, that's ignorant of you. I'm not going to get into all the details, but I threw it back in her face. And so we've had this exchange back and forth in the last little couple of years. And the thing is, she's enjoying this exchange, right? So recently, a couple of months ago, I went over there, and Daryl and I were going to go out, and she had friends over, and oh, this is Wayne. He's got a YouTube channel. He's an old military buddy of my friends, and yada, yada, yada. The only thing against him is that he does reactions to those demonic people that sing about war pigs, and that's always her catch, right? And then, she's got all of these little hens with her looking at me in judgment and shit. Anyway, what happened one day is I got tired of this. So I knew I was going over to see Daryl, so I got a flash drive. I loaded up War Pigs, 2 videos back to back. One with the original wartime footage that I first reacted to in my initial reaction, and then one with lyrics, right? So side by side in a split. Went over and I said, Daryl, I'm going to spend some time with your mom. It's time. And he knew what that meant. I was going to confront her, right? And so I walk into the living room, and Maggie was there, and she was sitting with her girlfriend, Alice. I guess they were best friends since they were young. So I said, Maggie, this nonsense about demonic worshiping and, giving Black Sabbath a hard time, it ends now. You and I were going to have this out. And she goes, well, later, I don't have time for this sort of thing. I said, no, we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to give you what I give to my subscribers. I'm going to give you a review of War Pigs. So sit down. She goes, no time. I said, sit your ass down, right? So she was frozen, and Alice was scared. So she's like, Maggie, sit down. So they sat down. And I said to Maggie, I leaned into her like this. I said, if you were a man, I would have knocked your ass out a long time ago. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to watch this, and I'm going to give you a review of War Pigs, right? And I know that it's going to change your point of view. And I don't want you to walk around with such an ignorant point of view about Black Sabbath and this song again. This song means a lot to me. This song means so much to people who have served. The most anti-war persons are the people who have served in uniform. You know what I'm talking about? The people who are against war the most are the people who have served. So this is a great disrespect to them for you walking around with this kind of ignorant phrase and using the platform of Christianity behind it as a little bit more reinforcement. So anyway, we went through it, showed them the video, made her focus and pay attention to the lyrics, watch the lyrics on the screen. And I said, don't open your damn mouth until this video is done, right? and she didn't. And so at the end of it, I gave a little bit of a review of what it means, just like I'm doing with you now, kind of breaking it down. The whole time, Alice is sitting there next to her, all stunned, and she was sobbing a little bit because they'd never seen me in such a strong, determined tone. So in the end, basically, Maggie and I are now kind of like the best of friends because I stood up to her and I said, you know, in the end, what you really are, and I see you for what you are, you're a bully. And I don't care if you call yourself a Christian, you are using the Christian platform to your own means, and you give Christians a bad name. It's a very bad representation of what a Christian is. I know the difference, and I'm not going to allow you to go around talking about Black Sabbath and this great song in such a deliberately ignorant manner, right? So that was it, man. And Daryl and Tom, they exited the room. They let me have the room with Maggie, you know, and she was not used to anyone leaning into her like this. I mean, the whole time that video was playing, I was leaning into her like that. Anyway, so that was the end of it. That's the Maggie factor. That's the Maggie thing. And so going forward, she's got something different to say. So she's got a newfound appreciation for the power of Black Sabbath and what these guys were really about. And in the last couple of months, Daryl had played her pretty much my entire anti-war playlist. All of Black Sabbath's Child in Time, Deep Purple, Fortunate Son, CCR, you know, so a whole bunch of my anti-war stuff. So that's the Maggie factor. That's the Maggie story. That's one of those reasons why this song means so much, you know, and that's why I embrace this song. One of the reasons why I embrace this song so much. So that's what Harry wanted me to share with everyone, the Maggie factor. All right, so let's get into some structure here. I want to do a little read about this song, some background and some context, especially for a lot of viewers who are seeing me for the first time, young viewers who are not sure what War Pigs and what Black Sabbath are about. All right, so War Pigs. War Pigs is a song by English heavy metal band Black Sabbath. It's the opening track from their 1970 album Paranoid. Overview. The original title of War Pigs was Walpurgis, dealing with the witches on the Sabbath. Walpurgis is sort of like Christmas for Satanists. And to me, who's saying this? Okay, and to me, war was the big Satan, said bassist and lyricist Geezer Butler. So there you go again. He is not embracing Satanism. He's certainly not embracing war. He is using a metaphoric link, right? Giving you the idea of the magnitude of how evil both are. It wasn't about politics or government or anything. It was evil itself. So I was saying generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses, to make an analogy. There you go. But when we brought it to the record company, they thought Walpurgis sounded too satanic, and that's when we turned it into War Pigs. But we didn't change the lyrics because they were already finished, unquote. That's Geezer Butler. There you go, right? And all Maggie would have had to have done was just read that one paragraph. Done. There you go. Clarity, context. People hang on to their ignorance. During this time period, mandatory army service had recently ended in Britain, but with the Vietnam War raging, many young men feared they'd be constricted to fight in it. That's what started this whole rebellion thing about not going to war for anybody, said Butler. I was dreading being called up, the lyricist recalled. Prior to its official release, the band often altered the lyrics significantly when performing it live. Yeah, they did that live in Paris. It was quite interesting. An example of this can be found on Ozzy Osbourne's compilation, The Ozman Comet, which features an early version recorded by Black Sabbath for BBC Radio 1 on the 26th of April 1970. While Butler had said that War Pigs is totally against the Vietnam War, about how these rich politicians and rich people start all the wars for their benefit and get all the poor people to die for them. Vocalist Osborne has stated that the group knew nothing about Vietnam. It's just an anti-war song. The song's instrumental outro is entitled Luke's Wall on US releases of the album, formatted as War Pigs' Luke's Wall. Yeah, that intro part really stretches the song out, making it a very, very epic thing. And it really, really solidifies and settles in the gravity of what they're singing about. You know, it really, really drums it home. Drummer Bill Ward's first memory of performing this song was at the Beat Club in Switzerland in '68. The band was required to play multiple sets every night and had little material in their repertoire at that point, so they would perform lengthy jam sessions to fill in the sets. Those would have been good concert days, man. Co-writer and lead guitarist Tony Iommi has said that War Pigs originated from one of those jam sessions. They probably had to scalp it way down. The addition of the air raid siren and the speeding up of the song's end were done by producer Roger Bain and engineer Tom Allen. Yeah, the eeriness of that air raid siren was so well put. The band had not input these decisions, though they were pleased with the results. Absolutely. Legacy. Yo, man, I can't read all of this, but I'll read some. Music journalist Martin Popoff has called the song an ugly anti-war classic, now considered one of Sabbath's top 2 or 3 most enduring compositions. Guitar World described the song as the greatest heavy metal song ever. The magazine also included the song on their list of the 100 greatest guitar solos and ranked it 56th place. Steve Huey of AllMusic called the song a standard. Yeah, okay. And as I keep going down, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of critics all giving praise and thumbs up here. Let me go down to the very last piece. War Pigs was one of the 40 songs featured in the Music Monday series of Newseum, and thus part of the Reporting Vietnam exhibit as a major musical reflection of the time. There you go, man. That is just a little overview of the song, but that is the importance of this song. And like I said, you know, where it comes to my channel and starting this channel, and this is what Harry wants me to talk about, I got into the anti-war stuff really hard and deep, man. And this song definitely was that catalyst towards it. And I got into it so deep that my friends are watching this, and they had this talk with me, and they said, yo, man, you know, you said that you're going to start this channel and maybe do 2 or 3 reactions a week, and they wouldn't be more than like 20 minutes or something like that. But holy shit, man, you know, we would leave and we would come back, and 8 hours later, you're still sitting here doing these anti-war reactions, man. So needless to say, I really got into it, man. And so they went out for a drink and they had this talk, and they were worried about me, and, you know, with our service history and stuff like that, it would be reopening wounds and stuff like that, which it had. I won't front. And so they said, it's not healthy. We've got to break you out of this shit. Because at that point in time, you know, being a vet, I wasn't willing to go to counseling, and I wasn't willing to admit that I had PTSD. So they said, we got to break you out of this shit, man. So they said, we want you to do a reaction to this song by Led Zeppelin. It's called Since I've Been Loving You. And they knew me very, very well. And that song snapped me out of it. That broke me out of it, because I had it in my mind that I was going to continue with anti-war for like forever. You know, I had all the political songs, all the anti-war stuff all lined up. And with new subscribers joining, like after this song aired, I went from a couple hundred subscribers to a couple thousand. And now they're all sending me recommendations, man. And I was making a list of songs, yo. And everything that had to do with anti-war and politicals and all of this sort of thing, including Ohio, right? I had that list and I was looking at doing all of those reactions. And so my friend said, yeah, man, this guy, he's only like a dozen songs in and he's so deep in it already, gotta break him out of this shit. So after about the third month, they said, okay, react to this Led Zeppelin song. And it broke me out of my anti-war focus. So I'm grateful to him for that because, yeah, man, I had opened up some wounds from the past. So this is an example, y'all, of how much this song means to me personally and how much one song can mean to someone. I've had people say to me, listening to a certain album, listening to a certain song, or being attached to a certain artist has taken me through a very, very dark time when I didn't have any other anchors or whatever the case is. Yes, I might have even thought about doing something, taking myself out. I've actually had people say that a certain song, a certain artist or whatever it is, brought them back from taking themselves out. That's how important music is. That's the bridge that can be built with music. Certain artists, what they have to say, how they have to convey it, like these guys, really, really make an impression. And it burns me hard if somebody like the likes of Maggie is going to walk around deliberately ignorant and not really embracing the song for what it is. You should have seen her eyes. They got as big as saucers when I leaned into her and said, if you were a guy, I would have knocked your ass out. God, man, I wish I could have caught that on camera. Anyway, so guys, this song means a tremendous amount to me. I would go as far as saying that it's the most important song to me thus far since I've done my a reaction channel. Yes, Since I've Been Loving You is my favorite Led Zeppelin song. Yes, Sunshine of Your Love is my favorite rock and roll song. So, I've got these categories, I've got these compartments, but I would say that War Pigs is the most important rock and roll song to me so far on a personal level, personal basis, for the content of what it is and how it's delivered and what it means. And eerily enough, it has just as much substantiated relevance today as much as back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So these guys, they were very, very prophetic in their delivery and in their focus and their concern about the welfare and the well-being of mankind. Because remember, these guys came up in a time where they were seeing some ugly shit and where the threat of the Cold War was in the air, social uprising in the States, the war in Vietnam. So there was just a lot of desperation back in the day, and this song really encapsulated it back in the day very well. But you can take that and apply it to now. And if you didn't know that this song came out in 1970 and you were to hear this for the very first time, you'd be shaking your head saying, oh my God, yeah. They're singing about now. Look around. They're singing about these times that we're living in. How accurate, how, you know what I mean? And then you'd realize, this came out in 1970, so they were singing about back then, but it's very applicable to now, That's the power of one song. If you are an artist and you have just one song, let it be a song like this that will forever, forever be remembered and forever be embraced and practical, That's how I would want to be remembered if I only had one song to offer. Anyway, Harry, let's go back to your note. Have I addressed all of your checklist here. I think I have. I spoke of the Maggie factor, and the video itself, and how it applies. Yeah, I think I've hit all of the pegs on your list there, Harry. Hope this is what you were after from me. But yeah, guys, just so you know, this is what this song means to me personally. And yeah, it's the most important song that I've ever reviewed on my platform during my walk of classic rock so far. So that's it, man. Anyways, I'm gonna bounce. I got some more reactions I gotta do, but first I gotta do some running around. So you'll probably see this today in the next couple of hours. Today is Saturday, and then I want to do a couple of more reactions before I have to get busy. So you might see 2 or 3 reactions today, maybe 2 on the classic platform and 1 on the Beyond Classic platform. That's the plan anyway. Wish me luck. Have a good one. Take care. And I believe the next reaction off the top of my head is something Led Zeppelin. I can't remember what it is, but wait for that. You'll probably see that in a couple of hours. Fingers crossed with me that it's going to be that it's going to make it onto YouTube. Fingers crossed that this is going to make it onto YouTube. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Peace.